All right, so just like in like a hour ago, Woj dropped kind of a big ball. Basically, Fred VanVleet will no longer be re-signing with. He opted out of his player option. He's going to be unrestricted free agent. We kind of know for a while the Raptors were either going to trade him or he was going to walk because Fred VanVleet obviously was not happy there. After winning the ring with them in 2019, they haven't been the same since Kawhi left. So it was clear that he wasn't happy there, especially being bounced out by the Bulls, my team, which also Fred VanVleet's hometown, kind of. He's from Rockford, Illinois. So it's kind of a weird situation for him right now. So I'm here gonna explain a little bit about where he might wind up and just kind of like my predictions, kind of, or what teams are able to get him. I'm a little sick, so if I sound different, a little stuffy, congested, that's why I'm sick. Okay. So I'm on this NBA. I'm on this website, NBA 2023 cap tracker in their offseason. So the team with the most amount of money by a far mile is the Rockets. Rockets have $47 million to spend, and their average players of age is 22 years old. So this is interesting because we obviously heard the James Harden rumors. He might want to go back and resign there. They also came out saying that if the Rockets don't get a Harden, they're going to try to get Kyrie. They also want to try to get Austin Reeves, all these kind of things. But you also have Fred VanVleet now. So this makes me kind of think if they don't get either of those players, maybe one, or are they also going to try to get Fred VanVleet? Interesting. I don't know. I think VanVleet's at the point in his career where he just kind of wants to win another championship. That was he won in 2019. It's clear he wants another one. He doesn't want to be on a losing team anymore. If he cared about the money, he would obviously opt in because he opted out of $22 million. So it's kind of clear he'll get a long-term deal on a winning team. But that's the thing about the NBA. The teams that have the most cap space necessarily aren't winning teams now. So it's like, it's kind of like, what's going to happen? It's very interesting, too, because a lot of the teams that, like the big market teams, like the Bulls, which I mentioned is his hometown team, they're negative 58 million in the cap space. Philly's also negative 59. Who else? Who else is a big market? Miami, negative 67. So Lakers, negative 89. Warriors, negative 101 million. Oh, my God. That's crazy. But it's going to be kind of interesting because obviously with the Chris Paul stuff going down, I'm sure Phoenix is a destination for him too. Maybe Phoenix for him. He's probably interested in that. It's just kind of interesting because a lot of these teams that don't have the money, they need to trade players, obviously, right? So if you look at the Lakers have been up there for rumors too for a while. You're gonna have to get rid of Austin Reeves and sign and trade him for him. And the question is like, do you want to do that? Probably not. Austin Reeves is younger, has a lot upside. I'm not saying much more upside than VanVleet, but right now he's been hooping. He's young. You wanna pay him and keep him long term, see how he develops. The Miami Heat as well is kind of interesting. I know Damian Lillard thing came out saying he if anywhere he wanted to go was Miami. I'll make a video about Damian Lillard too in the future. That's a whole different situation. That's kind of crazy, and just I'm waiting for the Blazers to trade the third pick or do something before the draft for me to make a video about that. So that's why I haven't done it yet. But when it comes to any other team, the Bucks even, Geiger or Drew Holiday, and it's just like it doesn't make sense why teams that like maybe unlike Philly, especially if they lose Harden, they're gonna be like, okay, we have to pay somebody, we have to try to get someone. So VanVleet makes sense, but it seems like VanVleet will be signed and traded. That's what it's kind of looking like because he wants to win. That's from my perspective. So it's whatever team gets the best fit for him. Obviously, he'll be like, I'll give you these teams. But I do wonder if my Bulls are on that list. He is from Rockford, Illinois. He grew up watching the Bulls. We just eliminated them in the play-in. We are in need of a playmaking point guard and some shooting, and VanVleet fits all those aspects. Not a great defender, but he's not bad. He's not terrible. The question is, I already seen some stuff on the timeline about moving AC for him. At the end of the day, I don't know if you want to do that. Just because we might lose Pat Bev, and AC's our best defender. He just made it a first team, so it's kind of like you kind of have to keep him. Now I feel like a first teamer, but VanVleet will be a huge pickup for the Bulls. Put him in that starting role. It'll be Fred, Zach, DeMar, Pat, Vooch. That's what it should be, at least in my opinion. I think Pat will have a big offseason, but Kobe White also is supposed to try to get that starting point guard role next year. So who knows what's going to happen? It just a lot of these teams don't really make sense. Boston doesn't make sense either unless they got rid of Mark or Jaylen Brown. It's like a lot of these teams that are good and almost there, these don't really make sense for Fred. So I'm kind of interested to see what he does and where he goes from here. My predictions on where he will wind up. I think Miami is always an option for every player just because of the location, the warm weather, all that. I think Miami will be up there. I think the Bulls will be on his list as well. I wouldn't count out the Rockets just because of the money they do have. But if I'm thinking winning for him and good fit, along with say they can work out, say they work out the money, obviously he'll get paid, trade some players. I can see him going to like maybe a Brooklyn. Brooklyn might be nice for him, kind of. So I'm thinking Phoenix, I'm thinking Lakers, Bulls, Miami, and I'll throw one more in there just for the hell of it, and Philly. In Philly. That's my final prediction on where Fred VanVleet will wind up. I know this is a quick video. I'm sick, and there wasn't really much to talk about here. I just kind of wanted to say like where I think he'll wind up and why this Fred situation is kind of interesting. I do think the Raptors are going to rebuild. I really do think that they're going to go into rebuild once Fred walks. They're going to look at their options. Okay, let's build around Scotty. We have all these young players. They just acquired Pirtle at the deadline, which kind of hurts. But they're probably going to flip Siakam and OG and get these draft capital assets and young talent to build around Scotty. That's what I think that'll happen once Fred walks. So yeah, Fred's a champion who wants to win again, obviously. But yeah, so those are my 5 teams where I think he'll wind up. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. This is a quicker video. I'm under the weather, so I kind of want to get this out of the way, talk about it a little bit too. Yeah, guys, hope you guys have a great rest of your day. NBA Finals are on tonight, Game 5. That's what I predicted Denver to win it in. And yeah, guys, have a good one. Enjoy basketball.